WGAN Forum Podcast number 56. Tuesday, February 8, 2022.
This WGAN Forum podcast is sponsored by the We Get Around Network Forum, your source for Matterport and related 3D and 360 platforms, cameras, and third-party add-ons. Visit WGANforum.com.
Matterport Axis will help democratize the creation and use of digital twins. Commentary and analysis by Dan Smigrod, founder and managing editor. We Get Around Network Forum. WGAN TV live at 5. WGAN TV training you in Matterport. Hi all. Does the Matterport announcement today, February 8, 2022, of the Matterport Axis Rotator for Android and iOS smartphones mean the end of the world for Matterport service providers? In a word, no. The Matterport Axis will help democratize the creation and use of digital twins. As a result, the Matterport Axis will create more business for Matterport service providers as the interest, awareness, and use of Matterport digital twins increases. Likely more than half of all real estate agents engage a professional real estate photographer to shoot real estate photos, and a smaller percentage, likely 5 to 15%, also engage a real estate photographer to shoot a 3D or 360 virtual tour as an add-on. While some real estate agents will opt for the do-it-yourself (DIY) virtual tours with Matterport Axis or other platforms that offer rotators, such as Asterum, NodalView, Pivo Real Estate, the more real estate listings that include a 3D or 360-degree virtual tour, the more awareness by home sellers to ask their prospective real estate listing agent if their marketing plan for their home includes a virtual tour. The real estate agent will need to say yes to win the listing, and many of these real agents will want to engage a pro. Will new real estate photographers buy a Matterport Pro 2 3D camera, or one of the 360 cameras, such as Ricoh Theta Z1, Ricoh Theta Z1 51GB, and soon the Ricoh Theta X, or Insta360 X2 to shoot and scan Matterport digital twins? In 2 words, it depends. I could imagine that the Matterport Axis provides an on-ramp to getting started with Matterport. That said, if you make a living based on your time, then the time of the rotation will matter to real estate photographer professionals, whom will then begin exploring one-click 360 cameras or Matterport Pro 2 3D camera. Which Matterport camera solution is right for you? It will depend on if the use case needs scan data, then Matterport Pro 2 3D camera, and if only for residential real estate, then likely a 361-click camera. For seasoned Matterport service providers, who have watched a race to the bottom in residential real estate virtual tour pricing, I could imagine seriously considering Matterport plus Leica BLK 360 camera and scanner pairing. That said, at $19,000 plus for the BLK 360, I could imagine many will wait to see if my prediction, on January 31, 2022, for 2022 comes true, why Matterport will build and sell a Leica BLK 360 clone for less than $7,500. As I wrote in part 9 months ago in the We Get Around Network Forum in a post titled Matterport Capture App plus Tripod plus Rotator plus Capture Automation, up next. Missing from today's, May 4, 2020, launch of Matterport Capture App paired, just, with an iPhone or iPad, was the use of a tripod plus rotator and automation applied to the capture process, as Matterport does now with the rotation of the Matterport Pro 2 3D camera. I could imagine that's coming soon. Why? As GeoCV, NodalView, the VRKit, and other examples demonstrate, it's actually possible to create an equality to or better quality 360 photosphere than with the present generation of 361-click cameras, such as the Ricoh Theta Z1, Ricoh Theta V, and Insta360 While the workflow of capture with a rotator takes longer than a 360 degrees one-click camera, for those just starting out with Matterport that do not want to invest in a 360 degrees camera or Matterport Pro 2 3D camera, the Matterport Capture App plus Tripod plus Rotator plus Capture Automation is both 1. A cost-effective solution versus a Matterport Pro 2 3D camera. 2. A good or better quality option versus the present generation of Matterport-compatible 360 degrees one-click cameras. C3 360 degrees cameras. Matterport should integrate with Matterport Capture App, September 25, 2019. So, why no mention of the Matterport Capture App Plus Tripod Plus Rotator Plus Capture Automation on the Matterport website or in the e-blast today, May 4, 2020, from Matterport CEO RJ Pittman? If you knew that this solution was coming, would you buy a Matterport Pro 2 3D camera? Matterport CEO RJ Pittman writes in an e-blast today, May 4, 2020. The Matterport Pro 2 3D camera is the gold standard for 3D capture with exceptional dimensional accuracy and stunning image quality for all types of spaces, from small to very large. 360 cameras are perfect for capturing smaller spaces where the highest accuracy isn't required. Matterport for iPhone is a great choice to scan a room or a small space with just the phone in your pocket. So today's, February 8, 2022, Matterport Access news does not surprise me. It was 9 months in coming. And it's news that Matterport service providers should embrace. Take a deep breath. The world is not ending, it's expanding for Matterport service providers. Here are some We Get Around Network Forum member thoughts. Quote. Originally posted by @Expertise. Not sure how I feel about this. They seem to be going harder and harder towards cutting out the middleman and getting end users as their customers. In this case, the middleman is me, someone who has given them over $10,000 for hardware and roughly $30,000 in processing and hosting fees over the years. So, why keep undermining your biggest revenue sources? Makes no sense to me. Quote. Originally posted by @Ron0987. I like the look, the setup, the pricing for 5 models is remarkable. All that said, along with @Expertise, where does that leave me? Like others, I have been on board with Matterport for good and bad, and have not seen much movement to help the Matterport services providers or increase the pro value camera services to make us stand out. Like Nikon, Canon or Sony, you can buy a base model camera that works for a few $100s, or for the pros you can buy a camera for several thousand. But with them I have confidence they are developing on all levels. I don't get that same feeling from Matterport. I still don't feel Matterport is working that angle and does not have a good reputation for the pro market. I am reluctant to buy a newer Pro Series camera as it stands today. I still wish Matterport would have more of a once-a-year users conference, so we could talk with the express our concerns and kinda get an idea where they are headed as a company. I do understand the philosophy of wanting to be the biggest and best. I always feel that it is somewhat of a two-way street when it comes to the Pro Series service providers. Quote. Originally posted by @BrokerBruce. I understand that Matterport does much more than residential real estate tours. But as a realtor here in Hampton Roads, with the pace of our sales and a 0.8 months supply of available listings, there is no time to hire out a tour. By the time you'd hire someone and get the tour back and into your listing, it's under contract. That's one reason I started to shoot my own, originally with Matterport and now using Inside Maps. Matterport will still have a place in shooting large commercial spaces and insurance claims and the like. Quote. Originally posted by @Archimed Studio. Hey Dan. Initial thoughts: I just discovered this product 10 minutes ago. Who is this product targeted at? Non-professionals is my wild guess. But if so, why would you bother using this setup and not just use your phone and spin around? To get a semi-pro result? Then why not use AZ1 if your goal is to make a quick but clean tour? If you have a team, are you going to buy and upgrade phones in order for the team to use the Axis, or just go ahead and buy AZ1 and a tripod? Can you order a Matter Pack with a space scanned with a phone plus Axis? If so, here's a big plus compared to the Z1. Please feel free to chime in, I might totally be overlooking some very cool features. Matt. Quote. Originally posted by @Mesh Images. If you think of the next iPhone generation coming with a plus 40 megapixel camera and maybe an improved LiDAR, this could be a revolutionary product. But I think it is not. Does it use the LiDAR from the iPhone Pro? I do not think so. And the overall construction does not look very stable. You will have problems with the image quality. No HDR, no low light. Quote. Originally posted by @Chalaudanu. It's a good way to get started with Matterport, although it has a glaring flaw: the whole process of tilting the axis is time-consuming. What do you think? Will Matterport Axis Rotator paired with a smartphone democratize the creation and use of digital twins? Join the discussion in the We Get Around Network forum, www.wganforum.com.